2019 was a great year to be a Nintendo fan. We got a ton of great games this year. Astral Chain, Mario Maker 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Link's Awakening, Fire Emblem Three Houses, the list goes on and on. The year's almost over, but we still got some really great titles to come, and I'm gonna tell you what 4 I've got my eye on right now. Well, not right now, but in like 5 seconds after this intro. Like 5 seconds from right... What's up everyone, great to have you back in for another video. I feel like I need a table. I really need a table. I gotta be able to put my arms somewhere or rest or hit my hand on something. I need to find a table, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Please leave a like on this video. I really do appreciate it, and feel free to subscribe and hit the bell and any other buttons you find down there, just go ahead and hit those too. Alright, so let's get into this. I've got 4 games, probably a few more, but I know 4 games for sure that I'm definitely going to be picking up and checking out in the remaining part of 2019. Okay, so the first game on the list we got to talk about right now, because it's actually coming out in a few days, and it's actually 2 games. That's right, you probably guessed it, it's the Lion King and Aladdin Double Pack. These 2 games were originally released on the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo back in 1993 and 1994. I'm really excited for these ones. These definitely take me back to my childhood. I used to play Aladdin on the Super Nintendo all the time. Honestly, I was really upset when I found out that they weren't including the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin in this pack, because obviously the Super Nintendo version of that game is better. These are just facts. But you do get a sword in the Sega Genesis version, so that's pretty cool. I didn't really play a ton of the Lion King, but I do remember my grandparents' neighbors in Florida had it on the Sega Genesis. I played it there a lot, and since then I think I've played it maybe 2 or 3 more times, but that's pretty much the extent of my experience with the Lion King. The games are going to include a watch mode, so you can skip to any part of the game, and also a rewind feature, so if you get mauled by a hyena or fall into some lava, you can just rewind a little bit and act like it never happened. I'll probably be doing that a lot. The second game on the list, not a lot of people are talking about, and I do not know why. The game's called Pine, and it's an open world adventure game that's got some serious Breath of the Wild vibes going on. Okay, before I go any further, I want to give a quick shout out to NintendoHero. He did an awesome video on 12 things, where was it? 12 reasons to be excited about Pine. So I'll link that down below. Make sure you go check that out after this video. So this game has a day and night cycle with a dynamic weather system, a lot like Breath of the Wild, but with every decision you make, whether it be team up with one of these 5 other species that are in the game, who also evolve and learn as the game progresses, or fight them and take over their land, it affects the rest of the world around you and everybody else in the world with you. Oh yeah, and the game was made by 7 people. So in our world, humans are at the top of the food chain, but in Pine, they're at the bottom. And the goal of the game is to find a place for the humans to live and be safe. So besides the open world, there's 3 dungeons to explore, and in them you'll find special tools to help you solve puzzles out in the open world. And when you hear 3 dungeons, it doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, Breath of the Wild technically only had 4, and that game was massive. I'm pretty sure this game's out on PC already, but the date for Switch just keeps moving around and around, and who knows when it's actually coming out now. Nintendo's website says 2019, so let's hope November? Okay, so 2 down, 2 to go, but I want to do some honorable mentions real quick. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. I'll probably end up getting that too. It looks alright, it's probably going to be fun. Definitely not going to win Game of the Year, but it might be a good time. I might end up playing Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection too. That's got Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Rogue. I haven't played that one, but I did like what I played at Black Flag on the Wii U. And of course, the one that everyone is waiting for on November 12th, Bee Simulator. No? No? Okay. Anyway, one of the biggest titles left to drop this year is Luigi's Mansion 3. And you won't have to wait long for this one. It's out at the end of this week, October 31st, which makes sense. Haunted hotel, Halloween. It works. But yeah, like I just said, in this one, you're not actually in a mansion. This time, you're in a haunted hotel. And it looks like every floor of the hotel is gonna have like its own theme. I am really really excited for this one. Along with the change from the mansion to the hotel, Luigi's also getting some upgrades to his equipment. Now, not only can you grab ghosts up and slam them into each other and off the ground, but you can also shoot plungers to open doors and grab things to pull them closer to you, and who knows what else. Another new feature is Gooigi. He's a green blob version of Luigi, and he can walk over spikes and through iron bars. Definitely gonna wanna keep him out of the water though. The developers say this one's gonna be more open-ended, whatever that means, and longer than the previous Luigi's Mansion games. So I guess this one should keep us busy for a while. And on top of all that, this game has a co-op mode where you can play as Luigi and Gooigi at the same time instead of having to summon him like you do in single player mode. I was definitely all in on this one from the first time they showed it at a Direct last year. Okay, one more game. Can you guess what it is? I would say this is probably the biggest game of the year, and maybe the biggest game on the system. And that is, of course, Pokemon Sword and Shield. This is the first mainline Pokemon game to come to a home console, which is pretty much inevitable considering the 3DS is dead and the Switch is a handheld too. Not to mention the massive success of the Switch. There's a lot to talk about with this one. Some good, some not so good. But as with all Pokemon games, you're gonna be catching, battling, training Pokemon. But this time you'll be doing it in the Galar region, which takes inspiration from the UK. Same as usual, you'll start out and choose from the 3 new starters, Grookey, Sobble, and Scorbunny. I'm definitely going with Sobble. But from what I can see, they're adding a ton of new features to this one, like the wild area. That's where they say you'll encounter the most different types of Pokemon, and sometimes what type of Pokemon you're gonna be finding there depends on the weather at the time. In this area, they're gonna let you control the camera, so it's gonna give it more of a open world type of feel. One of the other new features is called Dynamaxing, and from what I can tell, that means your Pokemon get really big. You will be able to team up with other players to do what they're calling max raid battles, and in these battles you can catch Dynamax Pokemon. But wait, there's more! You can also Gigantamax, which means even bigger Pokemon. But I'm pretty sure with both, you get access to more powerful moves, and the Gigantamaxing, I'm pretty sure, changes the appearance of the Pokemon too. Now, to me that all sounds awesome. But this game definitely has some people upset for multiple reasons. One, Pokemon Sword and Shield will not have a national dex, which means hundreds of Pokemon will be left out of this game completely. So the reason given for fewer Pokemon in the game is because they want to make the ones that are in the game more expressive and lively. The problem with that reason is the old Pokemon are actually using the same animations as the 3DS versions did. I've also heard some of the people compare textures in the game to the Nintendo 64, and there's definitely some scale issues going on. It looks like out in the wild, they're scaled correctly, but in battle, they're teeny tiny, which is really weird because Let's Go had them scaled correctly in battle and in the other parts of the game. Anyway, there's a giant list of stuff I have here, but I do not want to hate on this game too much until I actually get to play it. I'm actually still really excited to get my hands on it. I just hope they take these criticisms seriously and try to correct some of this stuff on the next one. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Let me know in the comments down below what games you're excited for the remaining part of 2019. What do you think about the Sword and Shield drama? Are you super mad or do you care? Also, let me know how you feel about Pine and Luigi's Mansion 3. And make sure you let me know which version of Aladdin you like best, Sega or Nintendo. And with all that said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like on this video and take a magic carpet ride on over to that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.